You are sitting on your bed in your room, scrolling through the internet. After a while, your brother Tae comes into your room. You say, "What do you want now?" You look at him with an annoyed face. Tae says, "Calm down. Do not get upset. I wanted to tell you that today my best friend will come for a sleepover." You say, "What? Who?" You start to panic. Tae says, "Jungkook will come." You say, "Jungkook?" You jump out of bed. Tae says, "What is wrong with you?" You winks. Tae says, "Do you love Jungkook?" You say, "No." Tae says, "You cannot lie to me." You say, "Get out of my room now." You hit him with a pillow. Tae says, "Ah, okay." He leaves your room. You start jumping on your bed because your crush is coming for a sleepover. You have had a crush on Jungkook for 1 year. Time skip. After a while, the front door rings and you already know who came. You say, "Aw, he came." You start to panic again. You say, "What am I going to do now? Should I greet him?" "No, I will sit here and I will not go out." After 5 minutes, your mom shouts from the kitchen. Your mom says, "Come to the kitchen." You say, "Okay, I am coming." You go to the kitchen and see your mother making popcorn. You say, "Is this for me?" You take the popcorn from the table and start eating. Your mom says, "No." She yells at you and slaps your hand. You say, "Why?" Your mom says, "This is for your brother and his friend." You say, "And for me there is none?" You start pretending to cry. Your mom says, "Of course there is." You look at your mother and start to rejoice. You say, "Yes." Your mom says, "Now go and give them the popcorn." She gives you the popcorn and looks at you with confusion. You say, "Why?" Your mom says, "I am an adult woman. I do not want to walk in on them." You say, "That does not matter." Your mom says, "Come on, go." She pushes you slowly. You say, "Ah, okay." You reach your brother's room, but you do not want to enter because you are shy. You say, "I am very shy. What should I do now? I will put the popcorn on the table and go out." You say it quietly to yourself. You say, "Yes, I will just do that." You open the door and enter the room. You leave the popcorn on the table, and when you are about to leave, someone says your name. Jungkook says, "Oh, hey." You stop walking and turn to him with a nervous smile. You say, "Oh, hi." Jungkook says, "How are you? We have not seen each other in a long time." You say, "I am fine. How about you?" Jungkook says, "I am good. Do you want to play with us?" You say, "No thanks." You start walking toward the door. Tae says, "Haha." She does not know how to play. When you hear your brother say that, you turn to him nervously. You say, "What? No, I know how to play." You take popcorn from the table and start hitting your brother. Tae says, "Ouch. Ah, okay. Sorry." You say, "Watch your words." You leave the room. You take popcorn from the kitchen and sit on the couch in the living room, watching a movie because you are bored. After 10 minutes, you are focused on the movie, but after a while, you hear someone talking. Of course, it is your brother and his best friend. They come and sit next to you. They start watching the movie with you. Tae says, "Why do you watch movies like this?" You say, "Why? Am I not allowed to watch movies like this?" Jungkook says, "He means this movie is romantic. You only watch horror movies." You say, "I just found it and started watching it because I was bored." Tae says, "Do not lie to me." He smiles. Tae says, "Are you in love?" He raises his eyebrow and sees you panicking. You say, No, I just want to watch this because I am bored." You look at Jungkook and see him smiling at you. You say, "You are not playing games. Why did you come here?" You look at your brother. Tae says, "We got bored, so we came here." You nod and start watching the movie again. Jungkook says, "Hey guys, do you want to play truth or dare?" He looks at you. Tae says, "Yes." You say, I do not know. Tae says, come on, let's play. You say, okay, let's play. Tae says, yes. Okay, I will start first. You say, I-ish. Okay, but do not ask dumb questions. Tae says, okay, I will ask Jungkook first. Truth or dare, bro? Jungkook says, truth. Tae says, do you have a crush on someone? He says it and looks at you. Jungkook says, no, I do not. He says it shyly. Tae says, but I think you do, bro. You think, so he does not have a crush. Tae says, come on, bro, do not lie. You say, can we continue? You say it with a sad face. Tae says, eesh, okay. Jungkook says, yeah, yes, sure. Tae says, truth or dare? You say, truth. Tae says, do you like someone? You say, no, I do not. Tae says, yo, do not lie. Tae says, why are you both lying? He looks at you and Jungkook. You say, bruh, what is wrong with your questions? Tae says, wait, why is your face red? You say, huh. You touch your face with your hands. Jungkook says, yes, you're like a potato. Tae says, oh yes. They both start laughing at you. You say, why are you laughing? Tae says, because you look like a potato. Jungkook laughs softly. You say, I will go to sleep. I am tired. You get up and go to your room. After 30 minutes, you still cannot sleep. You say, Aish, why can I not sleep? You go to the kitchen to drink water because you think it may help you fall asleep. But you see Jungkook. Jungkook calls out to you. You say, Jungkook. You say, what are you doing here? Jungkook says, I could not sleep, so I came to drink water. Jungkook says, how about you? You say, oh, me too. You take a glass and fill it with water. You drink the water and leave the glass on the table. You turn to him. You say, I will go now. Good night. You smile at him. Jungkook says, good night. He smiles at you. You are about to leave, but Jungkook gently catches your wrist. You are shocked by his action. Jungkook says, I want to tell you something. He looks into your eyes. You say, You are confused and do not know what is happening. Jungkook says, when we played Truth or Dare, I lied. Jungkook says, the truth is that I have a crush on someone. You say, me too. Jungkook says, what? You say, I love someone. You look down. Jungkook says, really? You nod. He places his hand carefully on your waist and brings you closer. For a moment, there's no space between you. He starts kissing you softly. You freeze and break the kiss. You say, I am. He stops and looks at you, waiting. You say, I am nervous. His expression softens. Jungkook says, I love you so much. You say, I love you too. You say, so we. You look at him. He leans in slowly and kisses you again. This time, the kiss is slow and soft. Then Tae suddenly appears. Tae says, oh, my poor eyes. You immediately pull away. Tae says, I think I am dreaming now. Tae says, I will go back to my room, yeah. Your eyes are wide open because your brother saw you both. Jungkook does not look embarrassed. He just pulls you gently back to him. You pull away again. You say, Jungkook. Jungkook says, shh. He puts his finger softly near your lips. Jungkook kisses you again, and you forget everything else for a moment.